Okay, so we already learned our slip knot. So once you have your hook in that slip knot, you want about this much space. I'm using a 4mm hook today, but I recommend using a 5.5 to 6mm. When you're a beginner, using a bigger hook just makes everything a little bigger, a little easier to see. Using my left index finger, I hold the loop on my hook, and I use my other hand to pull yarn over the hook. Twisting the hook towards me, I'm going to pull that through the loop that was on my hook. I'm going to do it again. And if you look at the top of the stitch here, you can see these little V's, or what I like to call a little hangman's noose. It's the result of what we're doing, twisting the yarn through and pulling it in. As I do this, I'm using my pinky and ring finger to hold the yarn and looping it over my thumb so that the thumb is actually holding the tension steady of the yarn. Now your tension is going to vary wildly, don't worry about that. This is a different way of holding your yarn. You're going to wrap it around your index finger and hold it with your pinky and ring finger, and hold your work with thumb and middle finger. This is just one option. There are lots of options. Hold it however is most comfortable for you. Now with this, you're going to be taking the hook, wrapping it around and pulling through. When you don't twist it quite all the way, it'll slip out of the loop like my hook just did here. And you want to put it back in the same way you were holding it before, just for consistency. That's the only reason I just switched what side it was in. Now again, we're going to take our hook and put it to the right side of the yarn, twist it around towards us, and pull it through the loop on our hook. Okay, back to the way I regularly hold things. I'm going to use my pinky and ring finger to hold the tail of my yarn, wrap it over my thumb to hold the tension, and use my index and middle finger to hold my work. Wrap the yarn over my hook and pull through the loop. How tight you're holding this work is going to affect what it looks like in the end. So you're just going to take some time practicing how you're holding this, and it'll come to you eventually. It's not going to be perfect in the beginning. I'm just going to do a few chains nice and slow so you can get a good look. Hopefully this is a good enough angle for you to see those little nooses coming around. See, we've got a nice little chain of these going. This is what a chain is. I'm just going to go over a few more chains in both the way I usually hold it and in the alternative way that I've seen other people holding it, just to give you kind of a good view of a few more chains. I find this method of holding it really a lot easier for actually seeing what you're doing, but it's just not as comfortable for me personally. Do whatever feels right for your wrists, for your fingers, for your hands. Anyone who tells you there's only one way, they're wrong. There's lots of ways to do this, as long as you're consistent. Now, even when you hold it in a way that you're comfortable with, sometimes things just don't quite go right, and it doesn't want to pull through, or it threads a little. It's fine. Just pull it back out, like this. You can even go back a few stitches if you think things were loosening up, or if your thread was coming undone. Just stick your hook back in the same side it was in before, just for consistency, and keep on going. I'm just going to do this a few more times to show you. Gonna come up close, go real nice and slow. This is just the most comfortable way for me to do it. Remember, however's comfortable for you is best. Alright, now look, we've got a nice little chain happening here. Now, when we're just starting out, doing lots of chains for practice is great. But what's also great is taking it apart. And to take it apart, you just pull. Look at it go. Alright, we're gonna leave it there. So you can just see the 6 little bobbles, as well as the one that I stick my hook into. Just like that. This has been Kai the Bard. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to click that like and subscribe.